Have modern dating standards and expectations become an Everest for men to climb? It's not a secret that the dating world has evolved over time, but in these modern times it seems like we're in a whole new era of complexity. Many men feel like they're scaling an insurmountable peak, trying to meet the lofty standards set by women today. Just think about it. We're living in the age of dating apps, social media, and an ever-changing social landscape. And in the midst of all this, the concept of dating has become a labyrinth of unspoken rules, expectations, and standards. These standards, some argue, are set high, almost too high. Women today are looking for more than just a partner. They're seeking someone who ticks all the boxes. A man who's financially stable, emotionally intelligent, and ready to embrace the responsibilities of modern relationships, sometimes even caring for children from previous relationships. So, let's dive into this intriguing topic and explore the different facets of modern dating. To understand the current scenario, we must first understand the past. The dating landscape of yesteryears was vastly different. Traditional gender roles dictated that men were the providers, the protectors, and the leaders, while women were the nurturers, the supporters, and the homemakers. Men were expected to woo women with their strength, their courage, and their ability to provide, while women were expected to attract men with their beauty, their grace, and their nurturing nature. Now let's take a moment to travel back in time. Picture the classic image of a man standing tall and proud, working hard to provide for his family, while the woman, elegant and nurturing, takes care of the home and the children. There was a certain simplicity, a certain predictability to the dating standards of those times, but as with all things, change was inevitable. Fast forward to the present day, and you'll find a drastically different landscape. The younger generations have ushered in a new era, an era marked by a shift towards equality and individuality. Women are no longer confined to the home. They're out there in the world making a name for themselves, standing shoulder to shoulder with men. They're independent, they're empowered, they're breaking barriers and shattering glass ceilings. And with this shift, the dating standards too have evolved. Women are no longer looking for just a provider. They're looking for a partner, an equal. They want someone who respects them, values them, and treats them as an equal. And men, on the other hand, are no longer just looking for a nurturer. They're looking for a companion, someone who can stand by their side, contribute equally, and share the journey of life. The dating world has indeed evolved, but has it become more complicated than before? That's a question that we'll delve into as we navigate through the intricacies of modern dating in the coming scenes. So buckle up, folks, it's going to be an enlightening ride. Fast forward to the 21st century, and dating has become a whole new ballgame. With the advent of technological advancements, the dating scene has evolved dramatically, and so have the standards and expectations within it. In today's world, women are not just seeking a partner, but a partner who meets a certain set of standards. These standards are often perceived as high, but are they really? Or is it that the definition of a high-value man has simply evolved with time? Let's delve into this further. Financial independence is one such standard that is often brought up. Women today are more financially independent than ever before, and they expect the same from their potential partners. They're not necessarily looking for a millionaire, but they do want someone who is financially stable, someone who can hold their own. Next, we touch on emotional maturity. In a world where mental health is finally gaining the attention it deserves, women are prioritizing partners who are emotionally mature. They're seeking men who are not afraid to express their feelings, who understand the importance of communication, and who are willing to work through issues rather than avoid them. Shared responsibilities is another significant factor. Gone are the days when women were expected to take care of all household chores and child-rearing responsibilities. Today, women expect their partners to share these tasks equally. They're looking for a partner, not a provider. Now, it's important to note that these standards are not exclusive to women. Men, too, are seeking partners who are financially independent, emotionally mature, and willing to share responsibilities. It's not about gender, it's about evolution. The dating scene is simply reflecting the changing societal norms. So, yes, the bar has been set high, but isn't that a good thing? Isn't it about time we start expecting more from our relationships? Isn't it about time we start valuing equality, emotional health, and shared responsibilities? It seems that the bar has been set high, but is it unattainable? While some men are stepping up to the challenge, others perceive these standards as daunting. Modern dating, as we've seen, has evolved drastically, and the men's perspective on these changes is as diverse as the men themselves. At one end of the spectrum, we have the so-called high-value men. These are men who are well-established, financially secure, and confident in their worth. They're not afraid to meet modern dating standards head-on, but here's the rub. Some of these high-value men are expressing frustration. They're feeling the weight of expectations that sometimes seem to tip the scale towards the unreasonable. They're asked not only to be successful but also to take on the responsibilities of others, including, in some cases, the children of previous relationships. This brings us to an interesting trend that has been gaining traction recently, the Passport Brothers movement. This movement comprises men, often high-value men, who, feeling disillusioned with the dating scene in their home countries, decide to look for love abroad. They're packing their bags, stamping their passports, and diving into foreign dating pools. Why, you might ask? Well, they claim that women outside their countries, particularly in developing nations, have more traditional values and expectations. They believe these women appreciate them more and are less likely to saddle them with the baggage of high expectations. However, it's essential to note that this isn't a one-size-fits-all scenario. Not all high-value men are frustrated, and not all of them are part of the Passport Brothers movement. Many are still navigating the modern dating landscape, trying to strike a balance between meeting these high standards and maintaining their sense of self. So, the question we're left with is this: are these men merely avoiding the challenge, or are they victims of unrealistic expectations? As we move forward, it's crucial to consider all perspectives and remember that every story has two sides. After all, the world of modern dating is a complex tapestry, woven with the threads of personal experiences, societal norms, and evolving gender roles. As the dating dynamics shift, the aftermath is felt by both genders. This wave of change in the dating world, brought about by the evolution of modern standards, isn't without its repercussions. Let's start with the women. Many have become financially independent. A commendable feat in its own right. They've built careers, bought homes, and created lives for themselves that they can be proud of. But this independence often comes with a price. As these women climb up the ladder of success, they may find fewer men at their level or above. And this, coupled with their high standards, makes finding a partner challenging. It's an irony that some of these independent women, despite their financial autonomy, find themselves seeking help in the dating arena. Now, let's turn our attention to the men. Many feel overwhelmed by these high standards. They're expected to be a high-value man, one who's financially successful, emotionally intelligent, physically fit, and the list goes on. It's a tall order, and for some, it's becoming too much. This has led to a phenomenon known as the Passport Brothers movement, where men, feeling disillusioned by the dating scene in their home country, start dating internationally. These high standards and expectations have put a strain on relationships. The pursuit of the perfect partner often overshadows the importance of compatibility, shared values, and mutual respect. The dating culture is becoming more about ticking boxes and less about building meaningful connections. But it's not all doom and gloom. With every challenge comes an opportunity for growth. We can learn from these experiences, adjust our expectations, and approach dating with a more open mind. We can focus on qualities that truly matter in a long-term partner, rather than getting caught up in societal pressures and superficial standards. The dating world is in flux, and it's up to us to navigate it effectively. It's about finding a balance between what we want, what we need, and what's realistically achievable. After all, at the end of the day, isn't love about finding someone who complements us, and not just someone who meets a checklist? So are modern dating standards too high, or are they a necessary evolution? This question has been our driving force throughout this exploration. We delved into the generational shift in dating norms and the high standards that modern women hold. We've also heard from men, particularly those seeking love beyond their borders, and the frustrations they face navigating this new terrain. We've seen the aftermath of these dynamics, with independent women finding themselves in need of help and men feeling alienated. It's clear that these shifting standards have far-reaching implications, not just for individuals, but for society as a whole. Yet, these discussions are not meant to point fingers or lay blame. Rather, they serve as tools to better understand the world we live in, and to challenge us to reflect on our own experiences and observations. In the end, it's not about meeting standards, but about finding a balance that works for both parties involved.